Well, welcome to our update on it's almost become a daily thing now because we seem to be rushing into the soft furnishings, which aren't quite so expensive because they don't involve labor, obviously. The other thing, as we've always said, is that because we pay cash and we wait, we are opportunists when it comes to seeking out the bargains. And what we found is that with the big store that we are closest to, always keep their couches for a certain length of time, and then if they don't move, they cut them down. And usually you can pick up, like this one was about $300. Now work that out. I don't think you could get that in the UK or in America for $300, but that's what it works out. It's roughly about 19,000 pesos, but of course we don't work in dollars, we work in pesos, so it's still a lot for us, but it would normally go for in the 30s to 40s, so it represents a huge bargain and a huge difference in price. And it is actually a very nice piece. It's quite large. And it fills that room, it fills that part of the room in the way that we wanted it. Now on the windows, we put curtains on all of the windows. This is purely for decor. And by having two colors, it really does set it off. So we put those up this afternoon, and we've had the corner unit, we've had that in the cardboard protection cover that was on it from us picking it up in Tagbilaran. So this is actually a feature piece, but not all of that will be seen, of course, because that's where a large desk will be going, custom-built desk, which I'll build myself. For those of you who aren't aware, I used to earn my living in California, and to a lesser degree in Florida, making custom furniture. And of course, in California, while I was there, the fad was distressed furniture, so it had to look as if it was old, which was a special effect, and that was something that I did as part of my job, making things look old using special paint finishes. So what we're looking at here, moving on in subject, is that this really needs to have a little highlight. So, as I've said in previous videos, on the top there is space where a white strip, so I'm going to put a white strip along there. No place to put it the way they've designed these and made the cabinets. Normally they might be the same, that same piece would be on the bottom, but it hasn't worked out that way. But on this side, look, all of this will receive a white highlight, probably a wooden edge piece, like 1/2 inch. So we'll do that, and that will give that will lift that a little on here too, and on there. So that's going to be a little job that I'll put in, and down there as well. So a lot of the time I did try to persuade Beth that we should have been a light brown. It should really have been the same as is there. Because if you view the kitchen moving back towards the couch, if you view that from actually sitting at the couch, it gets lost. It's a very, very dark colour and it just soaks up the light. So it becomes a bit of a black hole. That wouldn't have happened had we used the lighter brown. But that's the way that it goes. If we chose to, we could just go over that with the light brown, which is still a possibility, but budget-wise, it's not sensible to do that right now. We can create a better effect or move along more by doing something else. So the next thing that I will be involved in will be, directly involved, will be in designing and building that desk that goes there. So I would like, as I haven't made anything for quite a time, since, in fact, I haven't been building anything since the red house. And we got, if you remember, we got to the point where I was looking that I'd like to build a house up there that was a cement house on that property. Beth didn't like that idea. She wanted to remain in the red house, so we remodeled it, and we went to a great deal of work on remodeling that. I did 80% of the work on that myself and haven't really done anything manual since. So I'm going to take pleasure in designing a nice desk there, which will be that will be the receptionist desk. So when you come here, you'll sit here in comfort on our nice corner unit, and still haven't stopped on the soft furnishings for this area. So we'll put, in contrast, we'll get something that's color coded to what we've got now, mainly in the brown range of color, and we'll have a three-piece suite here in addition to what we've got here, and a coffee table and little additions like that. In the color, it needs some green, so we really need to get some nice pots or small tables for plants, but it badly needs some green, some life. So we'll be looking at choosing stuff there. There was one thing there that I wanted to ask a question of our subscribers. I noticed that we have granite in the house, and it's darkened down very fast with being wet. Obviously in the kitchen area it gets wet. I would really like this to maintain its beautiful light colour, as you can see there. This is really a pretty granite. Once again, we shopped when things were stagnating a little in the store, and they put this up at a special price, and we snagged it. So my question, I noticed that when the workers were doing, let me scoot you around, they're doing that Decor finish up there to do that whole entire wall. And while they were here last week, they put a bottle of Coke on here, and it very quickly had a dark circular stain. Well, it wasn't a stain, it was a temporary stain, but it darkened it down very quick, and that's what will be happening if we don't find a way to seal this. So that's my question. Any skilled tradesmen out there who are using granite in their work or have experience, if you know of a sealer that can be put on this, a clear sealer that doesn't affect the colour. I'm sure that there is, I just don't know. When I go to Alturas and I talk to them, they don't, the guy that I spoke to today, he didn't understand what I was talking about. I should have got, I don't hate to be sexist. If I go into Alturas, I get the best service in a certain way. If I'm looking for certain things and need to explain things, then I get the best service from the ladies. So, any tips out there for sealing this against future water damage or colouring, discolouring, please let me know in the comments and I will be very grateful. So here we are. The soft furnishings have created a very big effect, which has been a pleasure. We've been sitting here just enjoying how we've progressed. There'll be a big clean up, and down the bottom there that will certainly be lifted. The effect of that will be to bring the end of this up closer. Whereas before, when it was white, if you cover that, you'll see it disappears away into the distance again. But if you look on this, you can see that it actually has the effect of coming closer. I was saying to Beth that it's strange how, it's interesting that we come over here, we are used to the size of this place. It's a very big area, but we're used to that because the house is quite big, and compared certainly to most Filipino houses that we've seen, our interior is quite spacious and not cluttered with a lot of stuff. So especially in our living room for the television, our little TV room, the only piece of furniture in that other than the coffee table is a 3-piece suite, and it has a wall unit for the TV. So we haven't cluttered the space up very much. When we come over here, this is not an overwhelming space. But of course, there's still a very big piece will be the reception desk. And that will be going in the next couple of weeks probably. And another 3-piece suite, if we can buy one that is color-coded. They were there in our tourist. You could buy a 3-piece suite like we have in our TV room, and you could get it for, I think it was about $250. You wouldn't be able to buy that in a yard sale in America, I know. But that's it. When you have the cash and you can just swoop in at the right time, it really is a huge difference and a big advantage. Well, thank you for all the sharing that you've done. So all the shares really make a difference. And commenting, we are still not receiving all of our comments. There is some kind of a block on that, so we apologize if you have been commenting and have not received an acknowledgement or a response from me. It's not because of our intention. So please continue, and we hope to get that problem sorted out. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for your interest. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we love having you. Bye for now.